Today we're going to do an overdue video on bangs and balls. So there's two general categories of noise flash distracting devices, or NFDDs. There is the non-bursting flashbang, which is a hardened metal canister, and a soft rubber orbital looking thing called a blastball. And they're used for a variety of applications in law enforcement, but the main design and intent of them is to distract and disorient the individual. There's not a lot of scientific information out on these devices. The only comprehensive document really out there is a second edition diversionary device manual put out by Sid Hill of NTOA many years ago. And if you really want to dive into the nuts and bolts of these, I recommend picking one of these up. So how do these devices work, or how are they deployed? If you've read our book or been to any of our trainings, you know that we love cutaways. Here's a CTS mini bang. Pay particular attention to the fuse assembly in the upper left and the payload, which is the little cardboard tube on the right. Here is the simple yet classic design of the bouchon, or the fuse, which initiates the firing sequence. Here's the firing sequence. The pin comes out, the spoon and striker fling forward, and as they say in France, voila. So here we are with a live deployment, finally. Seems pretty innocuous until you see it on high-speed video. Large flash, large volume of gas. Notice the body staying in one place as that gas is dispersed. So let's move on to blast balls. They have the same internal guts as a regular flashbang, except the external housing is made of rubber. And that rubber, as it ruptures, disperses the gas 360 degrees, which can make a difference on how you deploy it and how it's applied. So of course we're going to milk this show for all we can, but we also deployed some blast balls on the guinea pig some years ago, threw 9 of them at his feet at the same time, again to assess any potential injury that could occur from deploying them. Here's the demonstration, again photos from our book, showing the effective minimum standoff that you would need to not really be affected by the rapidly expanding gas. These were taken a few years ago and we have much nicer plywood now. So what are the risks with these? There's a few. One, you have pretty high volume of gas rapidly expanding and coming out the ports. That's what makes a loud noise, that's what makes the bright flash, but that gas has to go somewhere. And so in an open area, an open environment, relatively safe as long as you're not too close to it. While NFDDs are clearly a psychological tool, there are physiological effects as well. And those effects come from light, sound and pressure, and heat. And the benefits to NFDDs also come with risks, and those risks need to be quantified for relative safety evaluation. This is a clip from one of our YouTube videos clearly showing the heat dispersion when an NFDD is deployed. Now that heat dispersion can turn into fire if in a confined space like in a vehicle, as you can see here. Over the years we've done a number of tests on flashbangs determining relative safety, mainly focusing on the flammability potential. Here's the flashbang being dropped on a feather bed in a Conex box. You can see no flame, but a lot of heat transfer. Years later we did another study with a Conex box full of household furnishings from Goodwill and applied a number of flashbangs inside with thermal imaging. And again, the only time we were seeing flame and fire is when it was confined space, like the chair here you see in this video. All that testing was combined into a document that we published in the Tactical Edge, which is the NTOA magazine. You can access that article here if you want to learn more. That's all for now. Hopefully it won't take us another 2 years to do another video. See you next time.